We know this is a different type of film for you, of course, but how different was it for you as an actor in terms of how you prepared day in and day out?
Yeah, I don't think that the preparation was any different. I think that I always believe in reps, you know, doing it many times and really working on a script, reading it many times, then rehearsing it over and over, and just to get really familiar and to get into the character. That's my process. Everyone works differently. There's some people that like to not know the lines until they really get to the set and then pick it up. They are obviously good enough to memorize then the lines. So it's a whole other thing. But I mean, I think that for me, it was prepping the same way as I do with all the movies, except in this movie I didn't have to prep so much action and you know, shooting with guns and doing in choreographing and all the things that you have to do in a Terminator movie and so on. But you know, I stayed in touch as I was rehearsing, staying in touch with the director, asked him questions, had him come around and watch the rehearsals. Then when you get on a set, you rehearse again, you go early enough. So it's, for me, it's all about reps. And then I think getting into the character and really believing that I'm that person, I think it was more helpful being a father and being a father of 2 daughters and then relating to the situation. I think that was very helpful in this thing. I don't think 30 years ago or 25 years ago I would have been able to do this part. Now I was, and I really enjoyed doing this film. The very fact that it was a little movie and it was so concentrating on the acting and on the you know, performances rather than just on the big blow-ups and action and all this. There was something very attractive about that.
Had you tried?
I think Arnold believes, as I believe, that when you're making a film, especially a small film like that, the better you are, the better the next person will be. So everyone's in a group activity of making it easiest as possible for everyone they're working with.
Yeah.
You know, they often say about actresses they compete against each other, and it's really not my experience. I think it was Judi Dench, she said when I first started out, she was like, you know, the better you are, the better I am. And that's a great way of working
That's
as
exactly,
actors.
that's
Yeah.
why I always said that it was so fortunate that the actors around me were so good. They really helped me with my performance. And so to me, it's just like, it's the most important thing, to have good people around you.
Yeah, and like if you really ask someone the question, they will really answer. It makes it very
right, yeah.
easy.
Now, when you were preparing, did you guys talk about who these people were, what they had been going through, and like, did you guys kind of form a family with Abigail?
Me personally not. I immediately bonded with Abigail when I met her. But I think what Arnold was saying of him being a father, I'm a mother, and Abigail's the daughter, that gives us a story immediately. We all know those roles.
Had you tried to do some serious stuff back in the 80s and 90s, and you just didn't get the opportunity to, and that's why you're capitalizing now?
Well, you know, in some of the movies, there's some serious moments there in my movies, but it was never a movie where from the beginning to the end is the dramatic piece, and or that human of a character. Because normally you always kind of wipe out everybody that is in my way, and you know, and create some comic kind of moments at the same time, have the one-liners, and you know, people get entertained by that. This movie relies on something totally differently, and no one-liners, and no kicking ass, no action, no chase scenes or anything like this, no special effects and all this stuff for flying around. This is like a drama. This is a drama playing out, and it's a zombie drama, and it is the most human zombie movie also.
But there was a light moment when we were filming it, and actually my character had to be quite pissed off in the scene where Arnold and Abigail are eating this dreadful food that I've made, and the audience really laughed at the screening, and I laughed because when we were filming it, Arnold did start like making these faces as he was eating the food, and then Abigail did start laughing, and then I started laughing.
Exactly, yeah.
It was exactly what happens around a family eating dinner.
Yeah, exactly, especially when you eat food that
It's
doesn't
disgusting.
really, is not up to par.
Right.